This is my one tree. Been doing this for about, I don't know, 5-6 years now. Put 3 pails on one tree. You can see the other holes here. It's dripping slow today. It's not running very strong. These pails were full this morning from yesterday, but this gives you an idea how to tap and the drip works for a backyard. Actually, this is my front yard, but we'll boil it in the backyard. All right, go ahead, dump them. Like I said, sometimes these are full. We're just getting the last drop because it's supposed to rain, and we're doing the one boil for the. We did it last Friday. Yeah, about once a week. So we'll bring that back and boil it down. We're almost done boiling about. This will be a little over 21 gallons maybe. So here we are boiling the sap in the backyard. We use a firewood. I have enough wood around here. I only have one maple tree in this property of all oaks. Look around. It's just all giant oaks around here. I got a yard full of oaks, even though I live on Maple Hill Avenue. Looks like it's... Last week it was way over the... Out of 20 gallons you should get at 40 to 1 about 2 quarts. And we got 4 quarts, and right now this is more than 4 quarts in the finishing pan, and it's looking thick already. It's definitely not syrup yet, but it's definitely very thick. Very surprising. We know that tree puts out sap way over the typical, whatever it is, 2.5%. I think we had it tested once and it was 4%. All right, go ahead, pour your sap in. This is the last of the sap. So what we do here is we have a primary pan and then the finishing pan. So when this one starts boiling, we'll keep dumping it into the finish pan there. So here we are with the finish pan. That one up there is just hot water. We're like in a dilemma again because this is looking like syrup already, but we had over a gallon here and we only put in 21, not even 22 gallons of sap. So that's what happened last week. Go ahead, dump it in the other pan. This is just about there. We just don't believe that it could be that much, but
So
it's over a gallon.
4.5 quarts.
4.5 quarts out of 21, 22 gallons. So looks like it's coming out to be just around 5%, which is great. For the amount of work, you get a lot more product out of it. And the finishing is not all that, you don't have to be that fussy. When I first, it's about our 4th or 5th year now. When I first tried it, I bought a thermometer and I fussed over it, but really, you really can't go wrong. I haven't had a batch yet that hasn't come out as syrup. If anything, I've had one come out a little thin, but more often come out a little bit thick. Last week's batch came out a little thick. I don't know how to. It should store and save no problem. Last year's, I just opened the last quart from last year, and it was perfectly fine. Stored it, you know, in a cabinet in a mason jar. So I wouldn't fuss over the finishing too much with the thermometers or worrying about the temperature. It pretty much, it kind of tells you or shows you. It boils in a certain way, and it has a certain characteristic to it that you could just tell, and you can tell by just tasting it. Well, this is syrup, and like I said, we're a little bit of a dilemma because we just are surprised ourselves at how rich it is, but it's syrup. It's definitely syrup. You got 4.5 quarts here in this pan. Don't pour it on yourself. 4.5 quarts in this finishing pan here out of 21.5 gallons, so it's well over 5%. See how dark it is. Last week it was the darkest batch we had. This one looks a little more average. This is going to be a good batch. Take it out boiling hot. Fill the mason jar right to the top. Screw the top on right away. And as it cools, it contracts, or it loses that expansion and sucks the top in. I guess that's what creates the seal. The jar is wicked hot at that time. You gotta be careful. So here's what we got out of it. 4 quarts and a little bit. Couple of ounces, but a full 4 quarts, which is pretty remarkable for that 21 gallons or so, a little over 21 gallons, and it's definitely thick. We didn't take it too soon. Dark. You can see the color here. Birds are waking up. Guess they've been waiting for spring to come for a while themselves.